Aakanksha Bhargava, who is the CEO of PM Relocations from Gorgon. And we can talk about her profile in the coming stages. And now I would request OM Priyadarshini, the student of second MBA of Vivekananda Institute of Management Studies, to give the introduction of the institution. Priyadarshini, over to you.
Yes, sir. A warm morning to one and all present here. WIMS, a part of Vivekananda Education Institution established in 2002, offers full-time MBA and MCA program approved by AICTE New Delhi and affiliated to Anna University. The objective of the institution is to impart quality management and computer application education to women students to become competent managers and technocrats, and adopts innovative methods to improve the quality of higher education on consistent basis. The holistic approach of college to corporate enhances the students' potential with confidence to face the ever-changing technology and business relatives in Indian and global environment. And vision, continuously engaging in providing management and technical education to empower women to be an economical independent and social responsive. Mission, employ appropriate learning methods with modern tools and techniques to groom students into technically competent and ethically strong quality professionals. And our quality policies are: we at Vivekananda Institute of Information Management Studies are committed to deliver quality higher education in a highly conducive learning environment, adopting innovative processes that enable the students to achieve the desired growth. Key features: state of the art infrastructure, well furnished classrooms with advanced teaching and learning aids, industry institute collaboration with leading MNCs, impressive placement records, consistent Anna University gold medalist and rank holders, AICTE sponsored entrepreneurship development cells, experienced faculty team with decorators, MOU with reputed industries and software companies, intensive implant training to understand industry practices, value added courses, technical forum and student chapters of ISTE and CSI to promote the software skills. National international seminars workshop is organized every year to recognize the recent innovations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Priyadarshini, for the intro about the institution. And now I would request Dr. Sairam, who is the director of this Vivekananda Institute of Information Management Studies. Sairam, sir, over to you for welcoming the guest.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, my dignitaries, students, scholars, academicians all across the globe. I am very happy in this time, in this moment, to welcome you all on behalf of our Vivekananda group of institutions and also on behalf of our chairman, Dr. Vidyaratna Karunanidhi sir, in absentia. And also, I would like to tell that he is one of the best example for being a social entrepreneur and done excellent job in this educational field. And I'm so happy to tell about him that he is the head of almost 23,000 women students across the globe. They are studying here, and that is the excellent example in this, particularly in this juncture. I want to note on this particular thing like entrepreneurship, and specifically he is not only an entrepreneur, he is not only, he's a great philanthropist where he has done so many things for the poor students who come across all over the India to study here, by helping them to continue their studies. And also we have made this institution in the rural setup because to cater the needs of rural base. And on behalf of him, I welcome Aakanksha Bhargava to this great occasion seminar. And also I'm so happy that Aakanksha Bhargava, an young entrepreneur and also the best women leader, and who has won so many awards in this young age. And I'm so happy, ma'am, to welcome to this great seminar. and also on behalf of our Vivekananda Institute of Information and Management Studies, on behalf of our faculties and students and my sister institution, 21 sister institutions, I am so happy to welcome you once again for this seminar on this entrepreneurship, like paradoxes of entrepreneurial thinking. Really, even this topic itself is a real different topic where every entrepreneur has to make it, and you are going to inculcate those things in the mindset, in the minds of the young entrepreneurs who are going to think about what they're going to do next after completing their that is final years. And Aakanksha Bhargava ma'am, and I am so happy that we got you here to this great national seminar through our ZillionCubes, and I want to thank ZillionCubes MD sir and ZillionCubes head of business executive Pati sir, and all the staff members of the ZillionCubes for excellent arrangements done for this great platform. And I'm so happy that on behalf of my students, lovely students who are all saying this on behalf of my WIM students, and also I want to thank all the students. Almost so many students have registered in this, and I want to thank all the students across the globe, scholars who are all they are ready to hear your voice, and also the academicians also who are in this forum to listen you, ma'am. And I'm once again I want to thank you for accepting this beautiful platform to express yourself, and also as a feminism, like as a women leader, and you will be the right choice for this seminar. And particularly you want to make my students to know exactly what they are. And thank you very much for accepting this. And once again I welcome you, ma'am, for this national seminar on entrepreneurial thinking. And I wish you all the best, and the thing is that it is your platform, you have to rock. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
Over
you,
to Bhakti.
thank you, Dr. Sairam sir, and yeah, thank you so much for giving a wonderful, warm welcome to our speaker. And from on behalf of ZillionCubes management, I would like to thank our CEO, Dr. Rajkumar Nadraj, and my team, who always support us and take this to the next level. And I would like to thank the Vivekananda Institute Management and the chairman, and Vivekananda Institute of Information Management Studies Director Sairam sir and his team for giving a wonderful opportunity. And wholeheartedly, I thank today's speaker for accepting the invitation immediately when we asked for to deliver his expertise to the young women entrepreneurs. So thank you so much, Aakanksha. And about her, hope Sairam sir have given a part of introduction about her, and she is now a CEO of PM Relocations Private Limited, Gurgaon, and she has published and published redefining the relocation industry in India book, and she has been honored and award by different society, that is a president in Choreographic Society, president in Placement Society, chief cultural head, member of Cultural and Sports Committee, and also the best women leader. And she has also got so many certifications from the global governing bodies. And she is also passionate towards travel and travel blogging. So that's a wonderful thing. And she is also to be marked. She is a mentor for Atal Innovation Mission. And so I guess the session will be the great enlightenment for the young women entrepreneurs. Thank you so much. And over to you, Kanchaka. So the session is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me. When it comes to students, I think there's a very, very soft corner I have for students out there because, we were young once upon a time. We were very aspirational. We were always looking forward for inspiration. And I think with every passing time, when as a kid, when you met people who you thought had achieved something in life, you just went back and said, X person can do it, so can I. So I think when it comes to kids and students, I just think that that's a very, very wonderful way of bringing experience to kids, because I think books can teach us something, but what you learn from people with real experiences is what really matters. So very very happy to be here, and I hope I can add value to your institute's philosophy and thinking, and hopefully I could generalize a lot of things that I think a lot of entrepreneurs go through. And most importantly, whenever it's about women or men, I think I always have believed that it's in the mind, because when I grew up, my parents never made me believe that there was something I could not do. So there was never like this bifurcation that, okay, this is your field, but this is not your field. And if you look at my business, I mean, I'm into relocation, packing and moving, which never was considered like a real routine job for a woman. When I started, I was just 21, and right out of my B school, I was expected to do something more glamorous, like being a consultant or getting into some FMCG or getting into a fashion. I mean, that's what women usually are perceived to do. I'm not saying that everybody does, but logistics, service industry, especially labor intensive businesses 13 years back was really not a very routine work to do. But my parents were just so supportive, and they said, listen, this is not about what you can do and what you can't do and what you should do and should not do. It's about the choices you make, and you are absolutely free to decide whichever profession you want to. So I think as parents, as teachers, as students, I think we should never tell ourselves that this is what a woman entrepreneur should do and what she should not do. Our options are just limitless, and we should just believe that. So I'm going to start on that note. I have a small presentation that I've just made, which is basically just mostly quotes, but something that I've sort of put my life on those. So I'd like to share these with you. Can I just take a minute to do this? Second.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I have 1 second. How do I put my screen? Is something visible out there? Oh, this is slightly.
Yeah, it's visible.
Is it visible?
There's a presentation visible?
You can just.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, it's visible. You can just make it off screen. That's enough.
Yeah. Can you see that? See this now?
That's absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
great.
absolutely
So
fine.
so it's very simple. Let's communicate. I think that's very important, that we should keep the communication channel always open, be it you're a student, be it your teacher, be it your first job. I think it's so important to communicate with the world outside and with your own self. So a little bit about me. I think I've got a really good introduction through wonderful people out there, but I think I just wanted to talk about what I think about myself. I feel that I'm a relocation expert by profession. That's something I chose to do. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, because that's where my heart belongs. I feel that I love to create value. I'm a meandering mommy. I'm a mommy of a 2-year-old. So that's definitely one of my best jobs today. I'm a leader by choice. I'm a writer by interest, and I'm a dreamer, and I'm a travelpreneur. So this is how I define myself. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the paradoxes of entrepreneurial thinking. So when this topic came to me, I was just thinking, what should we talk about? Because, entrepreneurship, everybody knows that it's a journey, it's struggle, it's got a lot of ups and downs, it's got a very, difficult terrain to it. And you will always have more failures than successes. And when you reach that top position, that's going to happen like in a very, very long time. Like people say, that every overnight success story took 10 years behind it. So I thought, let me talk about the things that usually come in the minds of a budding entrepreneur. That, okay, when you think of doing something in life, be it anything small as well, what are the things that sort of hold you back? And what are the things that want you to do certain things? So things that sort of give you that conflict in your mind, that's what I'm going to talk about. So we're going to cover the uncertainty paradox, the strategic paradox, the opportunity paradox, the experience paradox, the momentum, the decision-making, the impact, the risk, the knowledge, and the trust. So I have put down 10 factors that sort of define the whole journey of an entrepreneur in their mind, in their heart, in their interaction with people. I think if you're an entrepreneur, and if I'm talking about myself, even when I meet my friends and even when I meet family, there is a certain kind of body language everybody knows around me that it is there. I mean, obviously, when I'm with friends, I'm the same person that I was in school and college, and it's great to have those friends because they actually take away so much of your stress in life. But you become a certain kind of person that is always visible out there for you. So these are the 10 things. The first one is the uncertainty paradox. Now, uncertainty is obviously there, right? When you choose to do something out of the box, when you choose to not take up a routine job but try something new, or get into something absolutely new as a profession. You're expected to be an engineer, but then you decide to be an actor. So it's always uncertain whether you'll be successful or not. So that's a very important aspect that hits you every now and then. It's become very common to start believing that you cannot achieve something. But I think uncertainty is a good thing to happen, because if you really know you will be successful at something, then there's no fun, right? It's fun when you know that, okay, listen, this is something out of my comfort zone. This is something I have not done before. Let me try my hand at it and maybe I will succeed. And that belief is so important out there. So uncertainty is a very, very big block in your head that comes, but I think it's good to have, and you should turn it around and think positive around it. So here's a quote that I think about it. Life without dreaming is a life without meaning. I believe whenever there's an uncertainty knocking at your door and you think that, okay, I may not succeed, just think about the fact that, if you don't have those dreams, what is the point of, waking up the next day? You have to wake up to achieve something. So let's have those dreams and let's go out there to achieve them, irrespective of the uncertainty aspect to it. The next is the strategic paradox. I think in life, we always have plans. We think that we should take up a certain kind of business to know that, okay, this will succeed, because we think we are good at it. And we believe that we may just make a lot of difference. But you'll be surprised how different sometimes things turn out to be. So strategic paradox is all about that for me. At the end of the day, I always feel that we should keep trying new things and keep changing our strategy. Why I chose to be an entrepreneur? If this was a normal non-COVID times, we would have had a session where we would have met everybody and we would have discussed this. And why does somebody choose to be an entrepreneur? Is it a calling? Is it a necessity? Is it a belief? Is it in my case, I always saw my father and mom in the same business, and I really grew up as a child who saw two parents as two role models for entrepreneurship. And I never knew any other way around it. I just knew the ideas of accountability, responsibility, always working 24/7, being very responsible. So I had not known any other profession. So for me, that was one of the big triggers. But why does somebody choose to be an entrepreneur? Let's try to see what are the questions one should answer. The 3-question theory is what I always ask myself to, because when I started, I obviously joined my father, but with time, I had to be sure if I was doing this was the right thing to do. So my 3-question theory was, what should I be doing? Why should I be doing? And for whom I should be doing. So the what, why, and for is extremely important, but because that defines what you want to do in your life. So when you know what you want to do, why you want to do, and for whom do you want to do, is these 3 things that when you put down, when you start writing together, you realize that, okay, this makes a nice story for my life. This is what I want to do. Like, for example, my what was, what did I want to do in life? My what was, when I started, I was like, I want to make my father proud. I want to make sure that he should not feel that, he has a business that his daughter, and he doesn't have a son, so his daughter cannot run it. So I thought, let me help him out in that. But a lot of times that what becomes the kind of business that excites you. For some people, it could be filmmaking. For somebody, it could be singing. For somebody, it could be playing drums. For me, it was a lot about the whole idea of relocation, because I grew up listening to stories of people moving their homes. So for me, relocation became a very important what in my life. Next was why. A lot of people asked me, why do you want to be so much under pressure all the time? You have so much responsibilities. And I say, there's a story behind it. When I was very young, I was just 21 and I had started. One of my packers, my junior team member and my labor, one of my blue collar staff invited me to their house for their child's birthday. And I was very happy to get invited. And I said, okay, I'll come. And when I went there, I was treated like God. And I was like, I don't deserve that because I'm just as human as you are. But so I realized that being an entrepreneur is so much more than being on a business magazine or being on newspaper or getting awards. It's about the value that you create down the line. For me, being an entrepreneur is all about waking up to the fact that so many people count on me, so many people depend on me. And I'd like to take them with me. I'd like to give them a better life. I'd like to make their belief rise and shine. So I think for me that why was very, very clear that I want to do something in life that creates value out there for people. And I want to ensure that I'm somebody who can, give rather than receive. So for me, the giver is more higher than the receiver. Thankfully, God gifted me with a certain platform, and then I had a certain kind of wisdom to do this. So very glad about it. And for is again, it could be your parents, it could be society, it could be something that you've experienced in your life before, and you say, I need to change this. So for me, it was always about that. Okay, if you're talking about relocations, women don't do transport. Why are you getting to labor intensive business? So for me, it was always about for the people who believe that I cannot do it. So these three things put together is always an answer for you to why you should be an entrepreneur. The right intent in life is important to achieve anything in life. So most importantly, the intent is extremely critical. Whenever you're trying to do something new, you're trying to get out of your comfort zone or trying your hands at a new business, I think when you know the intent, you always strike gold. Sometimes we just get out there doing things when we see somebody else is doing. Like, for example, if your friend's doing like a fashion brand and they've launched something and you feel, oh, great, e-commerce is the in thing. And you end up doing that, but you may not be successful because your passion and your intent was not there. So I think the passion and the reason and the intent of doing something is very important because that's when you combine these two and you find your calling and you achieve something in life. Next is the opportunity paradox. I mean, we have zillion things that come to our kitty. So what should we pick? How should we pick? Which opportunity is worth it, which is not worth it? So that's a paradox that we all go through. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. So very simple, opportunities could be plenty, ideas could be plenty, but till the time you don't find what you love really love like crazy, which doesn't let you sleep, doesn't let you, do anything in your life. It's always constantly in your head, something that makes you believe that, this is something that I am meant to do in life or I'm born to do. It could be very simple things in life, but don't settle for anything else because that's when you will strike, the real calling will guide you to solving the problem of what you should choose. So find what you love and just keep loving it so much that you don't have to look back. No matter wherever I go, whatever the weather may be, I will bring my own sunshine. So this is something I always believe that, the opportunities could be difficult, it could be tough roads, but if you have that passion and that right light in you, I would say that sort of always tells you that, listen, whatever happens, I'll always remember that it is a journey and I'm going to make the most of it. So every day we are all learning. As an entrepreneur, your day begins even before you wake up, right? Because in your brains, in your head, in your dreams, you're still thinking, you're still adding value to your life. So just whatever happens, I think if you're happy and we sort of know that come what may, I will make sure that I don't believe that this was not what I was meant to do, because there will be a lot of times that you will feel that, okay, I have chosen this, but I may not be the right person to do it. I may not have it in me. So all those questions will always come to your mind. But if you have that belief, you will always be happy and you will always fight that. And someday you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. The experience paradox, we sometimes feel that we don't have enough experience to do something, and that could hold us back. Or, we don't know why are we doing some certain things in a certain manner. So for me, that's a very important aspect. For that, I've always believed that, your wealth in life should be your experiences. So no matter what happens, if you fail, even 5 years later, you go back and say, okay, listen, I did not succeed, but let me do a job now. It doesn't matter. You still learn something. So your real wealth is not the car, not the house, not the gold, but the real wealth is your experience, which you've shared with your colleagues, with your team members, with building a team, taking interviews, going to your investor, making your product, and sometimes with your audience and your clients as well. So it's okay if it doesn't work out because you've learned a lot. And when you look back in life, you realize that that experience helped you become become a more richer person in life. So your wealth is not the materialistic things, but it's the experiences that you carry. So let's all try to find those experiences in life. Meeting new people, finding avenues to talk to new people. So experiences is the real gold. And I've always believed that this is my small team. This is about a few years back. This is obviously we're much more people now. But when I always say that when you walk into my office, when you leave for the day, between this should be learning and fun you've never experienced. Now, learning and fun, as an entrepreneur, you don't know what you want to do, how you want to set the culture of the company. Because people say, you should have the cool startup culture, but I come from a traditional family background. So, I believe the discipline is very important too. And hand in hand is very important. You have to have that right balance in bringing your team. But most importantly, learning is very important. Most importantly, if you don't promote your people, if you don't promote talent, if you don't find those people who sometimes I find my team sometimes telling me I'm not right, and I'm so happy about it. It's so important to find people in your team that can tell you that you are not always right. So it's good. So if somebody criticizes you or challenges your opinions, it's a good thing. And that's what I tell my team, that when you're in my office, it's so important that you are learning and you're having fun that you've never experienced in life, because office is literally like your second home. In fact, more than your first home, because you spend so much time in the office. So as a leader, as an entrepreneur, it's so important that your team is always learning, and you have to make efforts for that. The momentum paradox. Sometimes we don't know where life is heading, what is happening, why is it happening. We are always going down, 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 down. We're not really finding the right idea, the right way of getting out of the situation. Everything just suddenly goes back to worse and then worse and worse. What do we do then? Sometimes life has just its own momentum. And sometimes you have to tell yourself that you don't need to understand everything to use everything. So it's okay that things are happening. Don't worry. You will still succeed if you let things be. Time can change a lot of things, situations, circumstances, but it can never take away your will, courage, and determination to chase your dreams. It can make or break you, but cannot stop you. This is something I wrote long back. I have to share this because 3 years in my business, I got this huge contract, which became like the real game changer for us in the business, and we were sitting very pretty on it for 4 years, till from 2009 to 2013. We were the top vendor. We had a great relationship, and then suddenly the global policy changed. No fault of ours, no fault of our team members. Everything was great, but we still lost the contract. And I was like, why did we lose it? Because it's not our fault. And hence I realized that not everything is in your control in life. You could be doing something superb. Your efforts are there. Your team is putting all the effort, all the hard work is in place, but still things did not happen. And then we had a fall of about 60% of our revenue that year. And a lot of people thought that we may not rise again because we were never a funded company. Another point, when somebody doesn't give you money, you find other ways to make that money, because not every entrepreneur is lucky to find investor. I did not find one. So when I started with my dad, we were a very small company. We were just about 25 people and a turnover of about 3 crores. And we were absolutely bootstrapped. And from 3 crores, today we are about 75 crores. And we don't have an investor backing us. Everything that we did was on loans, and then we got profits, and then we built our organization. So I did try. I'm not saying I wouldn't say I tried, but a lot of people were skeptical about putting money in a family business, and relocation was really not the thing. E-commerce is the more glamorous bit. So unfortunately, I did not raise money through investors. And I was told by a lot of people that, it's tough for you to grow. But I said, if somebody doesn't give me money, doesn't mean my business is not good enough. I will make it happen. And I think I'm very proud to say that we are one of the very few bootstrapped companies in the world that have managed to grow so successfully with our own debt and our own hard work and will. So that happened. I lost about 60% of my revenue that year. And then I thought to myself that, this is not a good time in life. And time can change a lot of things, situations, and circumstances. But it can never take away your will and courage, your determination to chase your dreams. It can break you sometimes. You're very dejected, you're sad, you're upset, it's tough to, get out of your room, it's tough to sit on that chair and still give appraisals to people, but it cannot stop you. So as the good times don't stay, the bad times don't stay too. So whenever there's a certain thing is not happening our way, let's try to remember that nobody can take away your will and courage and determination. So that's in your hand. So let's try to see what is in our hands. And let's not tell ourselves that, listen, this didn't happen, that didn't happen, this person didn't support me. It doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel from inside and what's your courage and determination all about. Guys, am I audible? Are you with me? Because I can't see anything.
Yeah, absolutely audible.
Hello?
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to be sure because I can't see anything, right? So I just thought, I hope I'm with everybody. Great. Okay.
Absolutely okay. No problem. Go ahead.
Thank you. The decision-making paradox, again, a very important aspect. We don't know what to decide. Decision-making is a challenge. So there is no success without commitment. So when you commit to anything in life, it becomes very easy to decide because you know that you have a certain result in decision-making. So decision-making is very important, and let's not be scared to take those decisions. It could be wrong. It could take us behind. It could backfire. But it's okay because you committed to a certain kind of relationship in life. So let's go for it. There's no such thing as a failure. There are only results. So it's okay to fail because you're just getting a result and you can always go back and work on it. The impact paradox. So I always believe that, impact for me is a very important aspect because sometimes when everything goes wrong in life and, we are all prepared for the good things, it's great. And, you're getting all the applause and all the applauses. Everybody in your family knows that you're doing well. Your friends are very proud of you. And then suddenly everything just goes wrong in life. Everything just goes bad and your business is not working. Like, especially in COVID times right now. I think we are all going through so much uncertainty in businesses that we don't know how many of us will really survive. And if we survive, how many of us will have the courage to get back, which is very important. And most importantly, how do we take care of our people? I have 557 people in my organization, and I'm very proud to say that we did not even fire a single person. We had to do some salary cuts, but we are back to 100% salaries now, considering we're a very small company. But the reason why everything remained so good with us, the impact was so controlled, because I think the love that I have with the team, the love that we have for each other, the love that we weaved in the organization, it's got a lot of power. Love has a power like nothing, it can make you do things beyond belief and unconditionally. So times like these, all you need is love, healing, support, conversations, talk to your people, talk to people around you, talk to your colleagues, your team members. They need you. And you also need them, because at the end of the day, when you go back, you want a team to stand by you. And I'm so glad that everybody did. So if you love your people truly deeply, it'll all come back to you. So never, I know employer-employee relationship is a very, bleak line, but I think I'm a very emotionally charged person. And I think I believe in 100% in relationships. And if it's my team, then I love them like crazy. So people are your greatest resources. Please invest in them, love them, value them, respect them. Yes, don't let them take you for granted. That also happened. So we learn with time. I was 21 and I'm 34 today. 35 yesterday. I just turned 35. So I'm definitely more wiser. I can now look through a lot of things. But yeah, when I was 21, I was as naive, as innocent, as sometimes as stupid as any kid would be. So that's fine. You could be stupid, you could make mistakes, you could hire wrong people, but you learn. So it's good. It's okay. Experience is important. Like I said, your wealth is your experiences. So it's fine. The risk, very important. Do we need to take risk? Can we take the risk? Yeah, that's fine. We can take risk. It's about the strength of your mind and having faith in the intent of your heart. And I can bet when you really do decide for something, your courage will kick ass your fear. Take the plunge and you will see the miracles of life. So whenever you're thinking, oh, this is so risky, I have to jump from, I mean, it's as simple as, when you go for skydiving, you go for any kind of rock climbing or any adventure sports or anything in life that scares you. I think it's all in the mind, right? That's what people say. And when you have that faith in the intent of the heart, this is exactly what I believe. This is written by me. And I believe that if you take the plunge in life, you will see the miracles of life. So uh, go for it, guys. If you have an idea, go for it. Don't think twice. Everything happens for a purpose and serves us. The knowledge paradox: do we know enough? Do we know less? Two things to measure who you really are: the way you manage when you have nothing, and the way you behave when you have everything. So, we could have a lot of knowledge, we could have a lot of insights, we could make great business plans, and we could be the great presentation person. But really, what matters is who you are when you have nothing, and what you behave when you have everything. So when you enter in a boardroom with an investor, and you have nothing, you're humble, you're nice, you're kind, and suddenly when you have everything, you behave very differently, right? It happens to a lot of entrepreneurs, happens to a lot of leaders. I'm not judging anybody, but I think it's very common. And I think that's what matters the most, to ground yourself. You could have the most knowledge in the world. You could be the most knowledgeable. You could be, but if you're not valuing things around you enough, it's not too far when people will leave you. So let's work on that. The trust paradox, very important to trust everything around you. Sometimes we don't know if should, I mean, people tell me, you trust people, your people too much. I'm like, okay, what is the other way around? Should I not trust anybody? Then how do I work? Because that means I need to do everything in my office, right? That means I shouldn't even let my peon enter my room. So you cannot really function in life without trust. You have to somewhere have that trust in life. And your energy introduces you before you speak. So when you really trust yourself and trust people, your energy is so important around people that they will actually take you for face value, right? So it's a tone that you set. When you trust, you get it back. No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up, guys. Very important. No success is possible without sacrifices and belief, sometimes not yours, but people around you. So let's always value what comes around you: your friends, your family, um, your colleagues, your well-wishers, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is. I think we don't realize, but there's so much that they do for you. I mean, I have a baby, and I'm so glad that my mother and my husband, my father, all of them support me so much that I have traveled. When she was born, 2 months, and we were traveling to Goa for a conference. And post that, until February, she was 1.5 years, and we'd already done some 65 flights together. And uh, I cannot take the credit alone. It's my mom and my husband that they came along with me, and they said, "You have work." And these are all work trips, guys. This is not holiday. I was doing my conference, I was doing my meetings, and my husband and my mom were taking care of my child. So, every entrepreneur has the force behind them. Value them, love them, and be there for them. So really prioritize your life. Guys, okay, I'm open for question answers. I think I hope I didn't bore you guys enough.
No, not at all. It was so inspiring. So, yes, guys, if you have any questions, you can post the questions. Uh, the participants who are on the YouTube can post your question on the chat box. I'll read it out for our speaker. She will answer you.
Yeah, very good morning, ma'am. This is Mona Sundaram. Actually, I am in Google Meet, the person head. I have one doubt, ma'am. I think the women having a lot of problems in uh, doing a business or entrepreneur skills. How
Mhm.
uh, to overcome these problems? What are steps to be taken to overcome these problems?
Firstly, what problems are we talking about? Physical, mental, emotional, what? Because sometimes it's always perceived that women have a lot of problems, but it depends on what. Because sometimes there's a lot of emotional issues, when you're married and you have a husband, you have a family, you have that challenges to manage both, because you're expected, unfortunately or fortunately, in our world where we live, we are still very patriarchal, and women are supposed to manage the home, the baby, and then come to work. So that takes away a lot of your energy, you're low on your energy, and you have obviously your minds on two places. Like right now when I'm talking to you guys, I'm also thinking about my daughter who's at home, and I'm thinking if she's had her breakfast because I left early, things like that. But I don't know, but I guess men are just conditioned differently. It's not that they don't love their child enough, but they're just conditioned differently. They just know that the mother will take care. So I think those are the things that I would really think are the bigger challenges. Otherwise, I think there's nothing else. I think when you talk about knowledge, when you talk about passion, power, decision making, I think women are very strong. They just need the opportunity to take those chances.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. These are both of us
That's
are working
wonderful.
on
And there is a
problem. Thank you, ma'am.
question from Akshaya J. Ma'am, how you faced your struggle during this entrepreneurship journey?
Um, I faced my struggle with a smile. No, actually, no. There have been very bad days. I've had very, very long days of, crying. I've had issues. I've had very bad mood swings. All very normal. When you're an entrepreneur, you have really bad days. Like I said, it's all going to be there. But like I also said, that when you know the intent is right, and when you know that, your belief is strong enough what you want to do, all you need to do is get up and really believe in yourself, because bad times will not last. My experience, I mean, there were a lot of times I thought that this is it. I'm done. I don't think anything can happen after this. I've lost this huge contract, or one of my top employees left. And, I was pregnant and I was just going into my delivery, and one of my very big client had a big issue, and I was literally like on the verge of going for an operation and then getting a call, and I was like, what to do? And imagine my mind frame. You're expected to go into your operation for cesarean with a very happy mind, and you're thinking about your child, but I was actually thinking about my client. So yeah, I mean, this is part of what you sign up for. So you don't need to be scared, but we don't need to be worried. We just need to believe that this is part of our life now. There is nothing called that okay, 9 to 5 is my job and then I'll go back, I'll spend time with my family. Honestly, no. For me, it's a lie. For me, my work and my family and my home is all like mix and match. It's all one. There's no difference. I cannot say that when I'm home I cannot open my laptop, and I'm at my office I cannot think about my child. My daughter comes to office every day because I'm still breastfeeding. I'm very proud about that, and I have a room for her in the office, and I chose to continue doing it. So I could do it because I'm an entrepreneur, but I've made a provision for all the mothers now in my office too. So if that answers, so yeah, I mean, it's
That's
going to all be
wonderful.
there. There's no
Yeah,
formula to fight anything. All you need to just do is believe that you can achieve, and financial issues are going to happen. Obviously, we need to know where to draw that line. I mean, if you have very little money but you want to make a 500 crore film, it's not going to happen, right? So we have to be really realistic in our belief. When I say realistic, I don't say that we have to be contained. Like I always wanted to have this beautiful office that I have now with like this great view outside, and you'll be surprised that when I started, I didn't even have a table and chair. I used to sit in like multiple table chairs in my office because I was like, why do I need one? I'm still learning. So it doesn't come like this. I mean, I did not tell my dad, okay, listen, I'm joining today, so I need a cabin, I need a AC, and I need a table chair. No, I went on the ground to learn everything. So when your base is strong, when when you've worked hard from the core, you just don't fear anything then.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And next question is how you see how you take the negativity when others talk about you.
Okay, now it's very normal. Your employees, your competitors, your clients, your vendors, everybody will say something because everybody has their own mind and not everybody has a good day, right? We all have someday criticized our teachers, we've all someday criticized our principal. But when we look at life, we realize we became what we became because of them. So I think it's very temporary. And for me, I'm very lucky that I think I'm somebody who gets very affected by people because I'm a very people's person. But my social life and my core strength is so strong now that I don't think it matters. And there'll always be heartbreaks in life. So really cannot prepare yourself for heartbreaks. But with age and with time, you just get stronger. So when my first employee would have left me, I felt very dejected and I felt, how could somebody leave me and go? I did everything and like everybody feels. But with time you grow up and you realize that everybody has their own journey and very important philosophy of life. I believe God always takes away those people away from me who are not good for me. So, let's just believe in the karma and the destiny in life.
That's great. And there is another question. How did you know when you had the right idea to start up your business?
For me, I did not start this business. My dad did in 1986. I joined him in 2006. But the reason why I continued, I obviously joined thinking, I wanted to help him. But right from the first month, in fact, after I got trained in Delhi, I moved to Bangalore. And I lived in Bangalore all by myself. I was 21 and I had no office. I had nothing. I created everything from scratch. And I think that's when I realized that, when people told me that relocation, packing and moving, what is this? Ye kaisa business hai? Why are you doing something like this? What kind of industry is this? I realized when I have to explain someone that what is this, what does it mean? That means there is a huge gap. And let me now solve this gap. So for me, that became a very big challenge about making this as an industry. And if you see my journey, we've never spent any money in marketing. Our PR has not had any money. I've not spent any money on any ad in magazine, nothing, because I didn't have any. I'm a small SME. Everybody covered us because they believed that this industry needs to be talked about. And for me, the idea was that, okay, when there is somebody who doesn't know about a certain industry, bang on. That's what I need to do in life. Yeah.
That's great, ma'am. The next question is for you. Will you please tell us some tips or advice for future elegant women leaders from Sridevi Priya? She has asked the question. So, tips for becoming a women leader.
Tips. I think passion, intent, love for what you do. Always be yourself. I think when people tell us that we need to be like men, we need to be, it's very simple, right? Like chairman, it's never a chairwoman, right? It's always a chairman. Why should it be chairman? I'll be a chairwoman, that's fine. So I think we don't need to tell ourselves that we need to fit in the shoes for men. We don't have to. We are ourselves. We need to define what works for us, what is our scope of doing things, and we do it our way. If, like, my dad sometimes tells me, listen, you're too emotionally deciding this. I said, okay, this is fine, this is me, I will do it this way. Fair enough, you've given me a suggestion, but I don't want to think like an XYZ person. I want to think like Aakanksha Bhargava. So never lose your identity, who you are. And most importantly, let's not try to be anybody else. Let's get inspired and attracted and very, very smitten, great. But let's be ourselves, because, and it's fine that if you're doing only limited work, we don't have to do everything else. We sometimes think that X person does this, so we should also do so much. No, we can do only this much, but do it the best. So know your capabilities, know your, most importantly, if you know what you love to do, then it doesn't matter where you are. You'll always be successful at that. And yes, if you want to get married, have a child, please do it. Don't think that entrepreneurs don't have a life. They do. And I think if somebody doesn't, I mean, obviously it's a choice to have a child, but I think at the end of the day, if somebody says that, because I had to do this and I could not have a baby, great. I mean, I respect that, but I think we should always know what we want. What is our priority? So that would be for me.
Greatly said, ma'am. And next question is for you from Saranya. What makes you to choose a relocation as a profession?
Okay, so the idea of moving families is very, very exciting to me. When I move somebody's house and they tell me that we did a great job, we feel so nice moving to a new location, because it's a very, very stressful job, right? When imagine if you have to shift your entire base from here to China, you'll be very lost, right? You would not know where to start. So relocation companies are like your first friend that you have to guide you, help you, support you. So I think I really like that whole compassionate bit to it. And being a woman, I love homes. I think when I look at somebody's home, I feel it should just go very meticulously to the right place. So I love what I do.
Thank you, ma'am. And the next question is from Mr. Hariharan. Good morning, ma'am. How to motivate parents of young ladies to support their daughters' venture, especially in rural area?
Sorry, can you ask me the question again? I think the internet broke
Yeah, yeah.
somewhere.
No issues, no issues. Yeah. How to motivate parents of young ladies to support their daughters' venture, especially in rural area?
Um, I think most importantly, don't define what they should do and should not do. So if your daughter wants to study, please let her study. It's possible that your son doesn't want to study, so it's okay. Let him not study. But if she wants to study, then let her do that. So I think it's important that, I mean, it's difficult to explain because they're living in a very different uh, situation in life than we are. We are definitely very privileged in life, but what I do as an organization is whatever my packers and my team members, I have 300 blue collar staff. So we run scholarships for kids. So we choose about 15 kids a year. We sponsor their entire education because we believe that whoever wants to study should be supported. So that's what we do, and that, in my own sphere, I'm trying to make that difference. My driver's daughter is my receptionist today, and my warehouse executive's daughter is my office executive. So, and they're all girls, right? So the moment they came to me, I said, listen, you have to make them work. They cannot go and get married because that's the mindset. So there are three girls, and there's one guy in Pune now. So there we have four people from my blue collar staff who've come in the office. And imagine their life changes, right? Now they're on computers, they're talking in English, they're learning, they're very hesitant. They were not even confident of wearing jeans and coming to office. But with time they've really groomed themselves. And I'm so proud that their next generation will not become a driver. So I think for rural India, I hope I get an opportunity someday. All I'm going to say them to is that let your daughter decide what she likes, and then inspire her to do that.
The next question is for you. How do you motivate yourself during difficult times?
I guess by telling myself that this is not the end, there's so much more to do. Let's find another way. Let's find something new. And also bouncing back on my team. I think I love my team. My team has really been my strength. My team, there have been people with me since last 10 years now. So yeah, my strength is my team.
Yeah, that's wonderful answer. I guess there is no questions yet. So would you like to share few words to the young entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, so that it would be great enlighten. Any tips or anything would you like to share personally?
I think, yeah, I mean, I think I've mentioned a lot of things. All I'm just going to lastly say is that just believe in yourself, your heart, your calling, your love for what you do, and just have faith in what you can achieve, and keep enhancing your knowledge. Knowledge should never end. Keep learning, keep studying, keep reading, because that really helps you become the person that you should become. And before I leave, I want to leave you with this very small 1 minute video, which always inspires me. Like, I have to show you
Yeah,
guys this. So just give me one
yeah.
second. I'll
And
just
there is
share my
another
screen.
question. I have, yeah, and there is another
Let me
question for
just let
you.
me just do this video, and then I can take the question if that's okay.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Thank you.
Can you see this, YouTube? Can you see this mountain? Oh, 1 second. Can you see this mountain? Can you see the YouTube?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, yeah, visible.
Visible. The YouTube is visible, right?
Yeah, visible.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
yes, yes, yes. It is.
Yes, we are able to see, ma'am.
So was that visible to everybody?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great video. It was really nice and inspiring too.
Yeah, that's something I always watch when I need inspiration. Yeah.
So, how can you overcome the? How can you? Sorry, how you choose your team? That's the question.
How I choose my team? Little bit looking around the CV. I'm a little bit like looking deeper into who the person is, what are their values in life, what are their values that they come from, and most importantly, what is that they're looking out of from life. When you know that the life goals are same, you can have that person for long term.
And that's great. And the last question for you: what's the biggest factor that has helped you be successful, and what is the best advice you can give for us?
Biggest factor, I think, the belief, the passion, and the determination. And what was your second point?
The second point is what is the best advice you can give for us?
Like you just saw this video, right? That this little baby, the mother is right on the top of the hill. She reaches, and the baby almost gets there and goes down and almost going to die. Right? The baby could have died, and the baby climbs back to his his mother. I think that's what life is. You know, you're almost reaching to uh, the end, and you're almost there, and then suddenly something happens in life, and you're going back. It could be personal loss, it could be professional loss, it could be anything in life that pulls you down. It's on us how we go back up there, and it's possible. You know, if this little baby can do it, I think so can we.
That's great. Thank you so much for all your wonderful words in the morning. You have made the session inspired, and I guess your speech and your presentation has enlightened everyone. So we are about to conclude the session, and hope you are done. Do you have anything to share?
We're good. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, okay. So over to you, Sairam sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Pati and Kansha, for your excellent session. Okay, on this, and many other students have also raised the questions to you. And being a female entrepreneur, mostly our students are not they will hesitate to do, but today they have come with good questions, and I hope you have answered their questions also. And I request Dr. Mohanasundaram, head of the department of MBA, to give a vote of thanks for you. And on behalf of everyone, I also thank once again. And over to Mohan sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, warm and graceful morning to our most valuable honorable chief guest of this today's function, Aakanksha Bhargava, ZillionCubes teams, WIMS faculty team, the faculty fraternity of other institutions, MBA and MC students, uh, and everyone gathered here. It's a privilege to to propose a vote of thanks speech and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard to make this webinar grand success. I, Dr. Mohansundaram, Professor and Head of WIMS, on behalf of WIMS and other entire fraternity of the institution, first of all, I extend my sincere thanks to the Almighty God for making this today's webinar event a resounding success. The first, I thank to my chairman, secretary to give permission and encourage our faculty team members to organize webinar to enlighten the skills of our women students and other participants from national as well as some other places join together here. My special thanks to our chief guest, Bhargava, CEO, PM, Relocation Private Limited, New Delhi, who spared time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts and experience on the paradox of entrepreneurship. Thinking, I hope our students, our WIMS, and other participants learned a lot from your experience and skills, and maybe they're going to convert it into the women entrepreneur coming days. I'm immensely thoughtful to ZillionCube teams for their efforts towards Anchor of today. I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation. I also extend my thanks to all the staff members, students, for this enormous cooperation within the organization of this webinar. Last but not least, a big thank to you, to each one of you who made this webinar memorable for all of us. The last, I just giving advice to my participants: stay home, stay safe, flatten the curve, save lives. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, Zillion teams.
And adding to this, ma'am, and I want to thank Mohan sir for a beautiful vote of thanks. And adding to this, I want to add one thing. And as Pati sir from ZillionCubes have made us to be a chief guest of you with today's event, actually. And I appreciate if you could make a long-term benefits to our students to make them also entrepreneur like you in future. And I need your assistance in this regard for making them, for shaping them and molding them for the better future of their India, and also economically making the India superpower. And women's, in the women's hand the thing is there, and I expect your support in this regard, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a lot for on behalf of our institutions and on behalf of our WIMS. Thanks a lot.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sairam sir and Mohanasundram sir, and all the fraternities and the management of Vivekananda Institution. And thank you, Aakanksha, for giving your wonderful, expertise. And I'll be in touch with you. And it would be great if you could share your PPT so that I can share across the students community so that they can go through
I'll
it.
send it to Pati.
Yeah. Please.
Also, since I couldn't see the kid, I couldn't see the students, is it possible for you to send me like a short video of feedbacks from them, how they felt about the session?
Certainly, I can send you that.
Short videos of the students, like whatever, one word, one line. I just want to hear, because when you don't interact, it's very like random.
Yeah, I understood. We can do that. Not an issue.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that'll be great.
Thank you so much, and thank you one and all. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.